So today was the day. The ASUS ROG Ally was officially revealed. Pre-orders went live. And I made sure I got up in time to place a pre-order. Just blind. Like I was like, I'm not even gonna watch the presentation at that time anyway. Let me just get my pre-order in. Just, cover my bases because I have been interested in the leaks. What I saw, the price was exactly what people were saying. $700 for the more expensive model. 600 for the less powerful model that's not available yet. And I would say, hey, if I change my mind, I could cancel my pre-order, right? Pre-orders were through Best Buy. They take a dip into your account right away type of thing. They do release the hold after like a week, but Best Buy's kind of slow with those things. I don't know. But yeah, I took the plunge, and now it's been some hours. It's been about 5 hours since I placed my pre-order. And I've been really thinking on it, man. I'm a little conflicted. I seen the reviews, mostly just read the reviews that are out there, as far as all the people who got one for review. And some of my worries were kind of echoed to me. And then some of my like hopes, things that I was like, man, it's going to be badass, was also echoed. So I do appreciate, these mixed reviews out there. It kind of gives a nice picture. That's why I always say, if you're looking at reviews, man, you gotta, kind of take a taste from all over the place. Don't just go to one, area and just hear what you want to hear type of thing, right? And this thing, it does look like a beast, man. It does look like a beast. So I wanted to quickly go through this real quick. Any game, anywhere, all your games, right? And this thing, man, so they have this armory thing going on where all your games are in this library. So Steam, Microsoft, Xbox, all that kind of stuff. You can have everything all there instead of having to go back and forth between all the launchers. Epic, GOG, Game Pass, Steam, whatever. That's neat. That's neat. I've been very spoiled with the Steam Deck, and this is not a Steam Deck versus ASUS Ally type of video, but this is more powerful than the Steam Deck. But at the same time, one of my conflicting thoughts here is like, do I need this power? Because one of my biggest concerns was battery life. And that's a concern with the Steam Deck as well. But at the same time, for me, with the Steam Deck, I'm not doing any crazy gaming. So I've been getting decent, acceptable to me anyway, battery life. When I've seen people saying, hey, I played this AAA game on low to medium settings on the, ASUS Ally, and I'm getting an hour and a half battery life, that starts making me think like, wait a minute, what is the point? Right? You're going to be tethered to a power cable to the wall. Same thing with the Steam Deck to a certain degree, depending on what you're doing. If you want to go for an extended period of time, you may have to be tethered. But then the other concern is Windows. This comes with Windows 11. And with the Steam Deck operating system, everything's kind of, the user experience, in my opinion, is really good. They've kind of ironed things out over time. And I think the biggest, one of the biggest problems besides the battery life is Windows 11 and not having right away that handheld version of it. So you're sitting here with this thing having to use touchscreen to type, use an analog stick as a mouse. I just don't think Windows 11 translates extremely well with devices like this. That's usable for sure. I played around with the One X Player 2, and that thing is a beast. Awesome handheld, but just that Windows 11 experience on a handheld just leaves me like kind of in the back, like, I don't know if I really like this. I'd just use a laptop. But okay, moving on to the power behind this thing, because yeah, that's one of the biggest selling points here. The $700 price point one with the Z1 Extreme, the Zen 4 architecture, RDNA 3 graphics, 8 cores, 8.6 terafloppies. What the hell? 16 threads. Then you go to the Z1, which doesn't release till later this year, and it's 2.8 teraflops. And it's like, wow, okay, it's a $100 difference. This one with the Z1, it's $100 cheaper. It comes with less storage and less power. So I think most people who really want one of these is going to wind up getting the extreme version for that $100 price point, because it's not a difference in like, hey, you're getting less storage. No, you're getting less power, you know, saving the money there. And I think battery life, that's going to be one of the biggest concerns for me, versus, you know, kind of like not really being too thrilled about Windows 11. But I think they even mention it here somewhere. Oh yeah, the the UHS 2 micro SD card slot. So you're gonna have faster access time with the SD card slot with the appropriate SD card. PCI Express 4.0 SSD, so very fast storage there. DDR5 memory. But down here, heavy gaming up to 2 hours and performance mode at 15 watts. And from all reviews I've seen, people have been saying AAA gaming, you know, or not really AAA gaming, like newer games running at like medium to low settings at 720p, not even 1080p. You know, they're getting like an hour and a half battery life. So that's like a big concern there. And they go ahead and tell you like, hey, if you just watch Netflix and YouTube, you get 6.8 hours on silent mode. Like, who cares, man? You want this thing for gaming. You're not going to sit here staring at this thing for 7 hours watching YouTube, are you? I mean, you might mix it up a bit, but I kind of wish there was a little more variety here as far as the range and hours on, you know, testing and whatnot. But, you know, looking at these reviews, like IGN, I'm not going to read through these reviews. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but like IGN, they compare the ROG Ally to the Steam Deck. So yeah, there's going to be some notable differences here, but for sure, the Ally is the more powerful system. And the price point's not too far off from the Steam Deck. You got similar size screens, but different resolution. 120 hertz, 500 nits, 1080p screen on the Ally. And I've seen some footage of the screen. It looks brilliant. It looks brilliant. The viewing angles aren't the greatest. Like they didn't go with an OLED because from what I'm hearing, just cost cutting measure, like they couldn't like go that route. But you know, like the Steam Deck screen, it's okay, but I have to have the brightness like way down so I don't have that light bleed and the black levels stay black instead of gray. I don't like the screen on the Steam Deck, to be honest with you. It gets the job done though. You are losing the thumb track pads, which I do like. But overall, it's a lighter handheld. It's way more powerful. But at the end of the day, and I don't need anybody trying to talk me into or talk me out of. You know, I'll make the decision on how I spend my money. But I just been curious to see like comparisons, performance-wise, battery life, the the operating system user experience, and some of the things that I thought would be an issue have been. Some people are having games that won't even load on the Ally, but maybe that stuff will be ironed out. But just, you know, using Windows 11 in a handheld device is not the greatest experience. Obviously customizable, load up your own operating system if you want, but it seems like they really intended this to be a Windows machine. So who knows if there'll be like driver support and all sorts of other things if you try to install something else. Who knows? But for me, at the end of the day, it boils down to I have a Steam Deck. I already own it. I paid the money for it. Gets the job done. I don't do any crazy gaming on it, but I do have to charge it quite a bit, like, you know, all the damn time, because no matter how you're gaming on it, battery life sucks. I mean, I play Emulation and some, you know, indie type games, and the battery life is acceptable for me, but it's still like every time I got to recharge it type of thing. So it's going to be the same problem with the Ally. And if I'm not like going to utilize that power, does it make sense? I got time to decide. I'm curious to hear from you guys. Like, are you jumping on the ASUS Ally bandwagon, going to grab one? You sticking with the Steam Deck where you didn't get a Steam Deck? We're waiting for both of these to be available to make a decision. I mean, it's great. Buy it or don't buy it. It's great that more companies that are known by people are putting out handhelds, selling them in actual stores type of thing. So that's a plus, man. That's a plus. Do I buy the Ally or do I wait for the Steam Deck 2? If there will be a Steam Deck 2. To wait and see, man. Maybe they'll one up the Ally here. In a couple months, we'll get an announcement. Who knows, man? Who knows? Thanks for watching. Just my little rant and ramble for the day. Appreciate y'all. Bye.